this just dropped and I was like, oh, another one? Well, okay, let's see it, because if the hype is huge, just gonna get like what, even bigger? I mean, if it's any bigger, I'm gonna explode. So let's just see the trailer without further ado, and then we're gonna discuss and break down the trailer and talk about some of the reviews that already came out. And we have, yeah, well, 2 days. Well, I at least, in my personal time, I have 2 days, but some people, well, some people are, yeah, gonna get it a bit earlier, I guess. Okay, so let's see it.
Test of a person's true value. Death. Facing it. Staring it down.
Johnny.
I got you.
Pressure's tanking.
Okay.
It's neurogenic shock. He's dying.
Oh, the story.
You in there?
My head. So what now?
Now, you find out what it is you need to do.
Oh,
You've never backed down from anything in your life, even when you maybe should have. You go through Night City knowing a stray bullet could end you while hailing a cab.
oh boy.
But that's never stopped you from taking action. You believe you cheated death. It is death that has cheated you. If you gotta kill, kill. If you gotta burn it all to the ground,
Join.
then let it burn.
Yellow Mate! On the ground, asshole! Don't move!
Out of my house! No!
That looks very. I don't know.
Would you
A
rather
lot
live
of
in
things.
peace as Mr. Nobody, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory?
Okay, I hope that this music is not copyrighted. But other than that, let's break it down. So basically, I get the story now. I mean, I really do. So we are V. We are going to be very, very uh, hurt at the beginning of the game. So that actually makes a lot of sense. But let's, do this one by one, let's not get ahead of myself. Hi, everybody in the chat. I forgot to say this because I was so in a hurry. So, my dear Primarchs, Clayton, Ivy, new, new Arrow. Hi to you, if I said that right. Greetings, Ed. I'm very happy that you're here. Patrick, you're here as well. Fizan, you're here. Oh, great. Yes, one more days, Devos. Absolutely. Oh, especially for the trailer, if that is the case, yeah. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not, because that's just gonna hurt a lot a bit later. Or immediately after the stream. Okay, let's break this down, because there's a lot of things here that are very interesting, I think. Yeah, Patrick, thank you for the memes in the Discord group. Thank you. Pretty awesome. Okay, let's see it again.
Test of a person's true value. Death. Facing it. Staring it down.
Johnny.
I got you.
I suppose of all the reviews that I saw for now, there are not that many, but I suppose that this is when they both, I mean, Johnny and V, have a better relationship in the future. And, Johnny shows his real side and he doesn't seem like the biggest ass in the world anymore. That is just my prediction, because some of the reviews did say that he kind of becomes a bit better later on. Or at least you understand why he's an ass.
Pressure's tanking.
It's neurogenic shock. He's dying.
Yeah, I think that something very bad happened. He was, I mean, we was basically almost dead, and they tried to create um, a lot of new things for him, the technologies, so he can live.
My head.
This reminds me of the movie Upgraded, if you saw it, with that actor that looks so much like damn it, I can't believe I forgot his name right now. Uh the actor that plays Venom. I know him, but it just slipped my mind. The point is that just very very similar vibe, like this movie Upgrade. Hi to Frank, gaming too. Hi. Optic, hi. I'm not sure what you said there, but Cryptic is here as well. Wow, Tom Hardy, thank you, Tom Hardy. Yes, this actor really looks like Tom Hardy, damn it. Thank you guys for helping me
But
out.
now.
Now, you find out what it is you need to do.
Okay, that's so creepy. This, I'm not sure if that's a human or like an android anymore. I mean, I'm also getting some vibes from Detroit Become Human, the game that I just recently played. The lip syncing is no good, just no good, but maybe it's gonna be a lot better in Keanu Reeves and some of the other characters. Maybe that's not a main character, that's why.
You need to do.
It just looks like she's only moving this part but doesn't express anything in this section here. So this section is not expressive, but this is. And that kind of makes sense because when we watched the last episode of, Night City Wire, they basically said that they are using an automatic system to lip sync all the NPCs, but that only goes for the NPCs, not for the whole facial performance. So that's kind of a big minus. Okay, this this is the altar of V, how he looked before. And also makes sense that he could be a woman, because whatever this operation did could also, for the sake of him starting a new life, just changing him into a woman. So character customization that kind of a way does make sense, I think. Oh, thank you very much, Optic. That I'm just so flattered. Oh yeah, I should be. I should be playable. I mean, I don't say that I should be, but that's gonna be interesting. There's one YouTuber that actually is in the game, but well, hopefully someday that's gonna be fun. I actually try to dress the part, but this is the only uh, blouse that I have that kind of, fits into Cyberpunk somehow, and the color scheme and all of those things. I cannot do anything else. Maybe cosplay with different, like, I don't know, like electrical connections or something. Oh my god. At least I can draw that with a pen, or like a makeup pen or something like that. It's gonna be funny. Okay.
You've never backed down from anything
Yeah, like what she has. Well, she has a lot of tattoos. That's not.
in your life, even when you maybe should have.
Oh, that's probably the chair where he was operated on. And it's horrible. It looks like a dentist chair to me.
You go through Night City knowing a stray.
Oh Jesus, that's so creepy. But I get the idea. I mean, the point of this trailer is to present the the story, so totally get it.
A stray bullet could end you while hailing.
This just gives me vibes of Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell. Where is Splinter Cell? I really want Splinter Cell, guys. I missed the game so much. Have you guys played Splinter Cell? I mean, it's been a while. It's been a minute since Splinter Cell was, out, so to speak. Oh, okay, yeah, it's a blaster proof. Oh yeah. Yeah, the trailer was one of them.
But that
And that we saw.
never stopped you from taking action.
Well, I like that this monologue basically. It tells us that V is determined, that he's somebody that is not giving up no matter what happened to him, her, they, so on.
You believe you cheated death.
That's cool.
It is death that has cheated you.
If you gotta kill, kill.
Is that a sword? What was that?
If you gotta kill.
What is that thing? It looks like katana. Well, yeah, it is. I think it is a katana. Huh. Wait, there's one more other sword. I just forgot its name, but it's basically the sword that it was actually used for real battle, and the katana was not exactly a battle sword. I mean, it was used to defend yourself, but when you go to like dinner or something like an official event and you carry it for an accessory, and it's still good for fighting, but it was not the battle sword that was used in real battle. Because I watched Scully Grim and other channels that talk about swords and history of swords, so that was very interesting to me to learn. And I just learned it just in passing, watching some arguments about dual wielding in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like analysis of that. So between these videos, I also learned about the katana all of a sudden. So yeah, interesting fact to say the least.
Kill. If you gotta burn it.
Okay, Keanu Reeves, always awesome to see him.
To the ground.
But yeah, it looks like they're gonna be friends. I mean, we.
Burn.
Yeah, that doesn't look like let it burn, and she's like, blah, blah, blah. Don't mind me. I'm just having fun, you know. Really don't mean to say anything about the game. I mean, it's a huge RPG, so whatever they can do there. Just the cutscenes, if they're a bit more well made, I'm not gonna be opposed to that.
Out of my house! No!
So that looks very compelling, so that looks very good. And amazing graphics, by the way. That too looks amazing. She looks amazing. Whoever that guy was. And yeah, I mean, some of the NPCs or characters, let's say, look extremely well. Like, very human-like. Like this character as well. Amazing how she looks. I mean, she looks alive, unlike some of the others. This guy too.
Would you rather live in peace as Mr. Nobody or go down for all times in a blaze of glory?
Well, I heard the driving was also awesome, by the way. I'm just thinking about the performances, but yeah, I'm pretty sure some performances gonna
Down
be
for
better.
all time.
And like real captured performances, like Keanu Reeves, you cannot automate him, and he did do his performances.
In a blaze of glory.
I'm just curious about the rest of them. Yeah. Awesomeness. I love to get this jacket. You know how they present the game with something like a default, clothes, costume, whatever it is, and then as soon as you get the game, you get that and you're like, oh, this is so ordinary, I have to get the next one. Well, at least how I am with Assassin's Creed. I now have Thor's armor and some Twitch Prime that is free, so I got it for free, and it was pretty awesome, but it's a bit weaker armor. Never mind, the point is, you always are like, wow, this is so cool, and then, oh my gosh, I want to get everything else, and I don't want to wear the original anymore. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, okay, let's look at your comments, and we're gonna Jesus Christ, I'm so tired. We're gonna talk about the reviews. And I always am curious about the reviews whenever a new game comes out. Although what I am gonna experience, what other people are gonna experience is different. What I'm looking for in an RPG game is different as well. But yeah, just to check your comments real quick. Well, Uptake, if it only was up to you, you know. Oh. What sexual orientation will I play as? Sexual orientation or gender? What do you mean? Because those are both different things. Well, I'm wondering actually because I play as a guy a lot of the times, like in Assassin's Creed, and haven't even tried to play with the female version of Eivor yet. It just doesn't appeal to me. If the female version was made good, okay, but I'm not really fond of her. Anyway, this is totally different because I get to make my character, so I can make whatever female I want to and whatever male I want to. Not sure if they gonna allow me to change the physique too much. I know about the other parts down there that you can change that, but I'm pretty sure that they're not gonna allow me to make like a muscular guy. I'm not. I don't think that they consider that. It's super rare in games. You can do that in Saints Row, but beyond Saints Row, not many games have that. Well, if they do have that, I'm gonna be torn between, male and a female V. So I'm not sure. But if, oh, Jesus, I'm not really sure. Yeah, probably gonna be male again. Although you don't really see him, you don't really see your character. That's the thing that I wish we had a third person view, but everybody said that this game should be experienced in first person. That's kind of the point because of how it's made and the impact is greater in the experience. Okay, but then if I see only arms, to me, it doesn't really matter at all. Only the voice is gonna be then female, and from time to time, I'm gonna see the character in the mirror, so I'm just gonna decide on the fly. Depends on the customization. If it's cool enough for the male character, the way that I want it to be, I'm just gonna play with the male character, and he's gonna be, heterosexual male character. If I'm gonna play, if you're asking literally about the sexuality of the character, and that's gonna be it. I don't intend to switch anything that I normally wouldn't do, so I'm just gonna play whatever I feel like it, as usual. But in Assassin's Creed is similar in a way that some male and female characters both, try to have romance, but I already picked Ramvi in the settlement, so I'm gonna stick with her for now, but I'm playing the male, Eivor, so yeah. I'm not doing a lesbian relationship actually. I'm just doing Eivor and Branvik, how it is, like by default, basically. Well, yeah, I heard that the romance here is gonna be either for serious or not serious, or gonna be able to pick and choose, and the game is going to be very, very adult, so a lot more than The Witcher and a lot more than Assassin's Creed. So you'll be able to probably have a full on, what. I just censor myself because YouTube is going to demonetize my butt, even for regular words. So we'll see how that goes. That scene on the horse in The Witcher, I never forget. But that was gonna be 10 times more than that, probably. Yeah, it looks like it's close to Deus Ex, although I do not like Deus Ex, it's just not my thing. But this looks more like something that I would like, in terms of how everything plays, and the story seems to be very focused, and the narrative seems to be very concentrated. So that for me is very important. I just want to have this tight story and to be easy to follow it and to be engaged in it. And at least from the reviews that I've heard, that is the case. Now, the negative reviews had some absolutely ridiculous things. Bugs, no, I mean, bugs, that is a valid complaint, but I hope that they're gonna fix that with the first day patch, which they did promised. So yes, but bugs are definitely a valid criticism. But besides that, the other types of criticism about the gender stuff is absolutely not objective at all. So yeah, but those are the only things that I've heard that are negatives. And one of the reviewers, I think, was not very impressed overall. That was not that futuristic, or it looked ambitious, but in reality, it's not that ambitious. I mean, it's like more, almost, what was the word for that? Uh, like more common or just more regular or something. But everybody is entitled to their own opinion. So, yeah, I mean, it's an experience, you know. You have to experience it, the game, and how that's gonna be just depends on your perceived, well, everything, you know, how you see things, what do you look for, what do you not like, what do you like, all of those things. So, very, very subjective, but still, overall, we're gonna find out pretty soon if the game is good or not. And I think there's day and something hours, literally. I have to see the countdown on GOG if it says something. Doesn't say anything, but I think I got an email. But anyway, the game is ready and I'm gonna stream it right away as soon as I can. So that's it pretty much, guys. Okay, let me see your thoughts. Yeah, that's true. That's what I like in Cyberpunk, that mostly pulls on sad strings which bring a lot of humane and connotation to the stories. Oh yes, when you Ivy mentioned this, the game is based on the tabletop that I had no idea that ever existed. So all the things that they're gonna put inside, like Easter eggs that connect to the tabletop world and lore, I cannot, I just cannot perceive that, unfortunately. But for everybody else that are familiar with that, it's gonna be very awesome, like looking at Easter eggs all the time. The Blade Runner, yeah. Animatrix, yeah, you're right. Yeah, very close. High tech, well, I don't know, Dart. Is literally what one of the reviewers said, but I'm not sure what is then. Well, the other thing was that some of the things in the game, I mean, some of the foliage, not only that, but like different. Damn it. Well, let's say there's a market and you see the market go, past the market, and you want to interact with the NPC or buy something, you can't. Now, I'm just saying, I mean, I'm just giving like a example. It's not literal, it's not literally a market or anything like that, but some of the negative points were about things that you cannot interact with, but they were just put there to show, the world, to make it look pretty, but it's static. You can't do anything with it. Now, if that's the case, I personally will be a bit disappointed. I mean, depending on what I actually do in the world, but I do like when you can walk up to something and you can pick it up. Like if you see a gun, I'm sorry, if you see a gun on the floor or something else, and it's not just there, and you can pick it up, that's good. That's what I like. But it all depends on how the game is actually made and what's relevant to be non-static and what it's like. I mean, it doesn't matter if it is static or not. So we'll see about that. Seems like it's a nitpick more than anything, but we'll see. I will probably choose the Nomad just because I love the desert. I mean, I love to look at it, not be there, but to look at the atmosphere, the vehicles, the Mad Max look to it, and then going to the big city, although probably the middle ground is gonna be better, not the corporate, but the city kid. That's gonna be actually the better thing, because if you pick the city kid, you're not going to have to prove yourself and establish yourself amongst people that are already there, where if you come from the nomad life path, you will have to establish yourself a bit more in a different way. So I have to have this in mind, but we'll see in the last minute, basically. But I always thought that since I found out about the three paths, that I'm gonna pick the nomad, just because of the desert and to see how things are there. From the 80s, it was so cool. I guess a lot of things originated from the 80s, and including oh Jesus, Blade Runner. Yes, 40K, of course. I know. I mean, it's cool that you brought that up, yes. Uh, Gun on the floor, Ed. You know how you see some weapons in games and you can't pick them up? That's actually happened a lot of times in some games, like in some of the Assassin's Creeds, or in Assassin's Creed? Wait, there was a game very recently that I think it was Assassin's Creed, but I'm not sure. Okay, so there was this mannequins that had armor on, and you go to the mannequin and you're like, oh, I'm gonna loot this mannequin, get the armor. Nope, it's just static. So such things I really don't like. If I see the freaking armor like standing right there on that mannequin, I wanna get it, okay? So that's one thing. Oh. And the other funny thing, by the way, is that I don't know if the tabletop was 2077, but you know how in the past people thought that in the future it's going to be super futuristic, but when you get to that year, it's not exactly like that. I mean, example for this is Back in the Future and I Am Robot. I Am Robot. I'm pretty sure that we reached the year of I Am Robot. I have to check, but the point is that, like in Back in the Future, they thought that we are going to have like a hoverboards, but we just have these boards with wheels that are called hoverboards, kinda, but they're not, because they're not hovering over the ground. So in 2077, literally, now it's 2020. I don't think, like in 57 years, that we are gonna be to this level, and I do hope that in some aspects we are not, because it's horrible, but for other things that could make your life better, yeah, absolutely, of course, but not like for everything. Yeah. No, Optic, this is Nomad, is not a game mode, it's where you start the story. And that's just outside the city, basically. And you start from the desert that's outside the city, and then you go to the city, you move to the big town, to the big town, and try to develop yourself there. And there's also corporate, which you are starting from the corporate world. That's kind of the highest point, but you're gonna deal with a lot of asses there. So, of course, there's caveats to everything, pros and cons, and everybody has to factor that in. But I do despise corporate in general, in a lot of ways, so I do not like to get myself in there immediately. I'll be like, no, 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 where's the desert? Just a bit more natural feeling of things before I get myself amongst these augmented beings here with half a metal mouth and half a metal boobs and all of that. Let's say. Yeah, also that is true as well, Abby. Oi, Jesus. Ah, okay, I'm not gonna visit there. Okay. Well, cryptic, go for it then. Do what you can, do what you can. Well, the other thing is that the reviews mention that it's not necessary to go to the side quest, but they do contribute later. It depends on how they are done. Now, in Assassin's Creed, everything is done in the way that you also could go only through the main story and never touch the side quest. But if you go to some side stuff, you're gonna get the best armor, the best freaking weapons, and you'll be so OP and so strong when you get to the main missions. Then you're just gonna kick everybody's asses. That's exactly what I did. I played Assassin's Creed for like 65 hours now, which is mind blowing. And I'm still not in the middle of the story, but I'm trying to get Excalibur right now. And for that, I have to defeat three zealots, which are huge F off warriors, and I do. One is like 320 level, and I'm 160 something, I think. And I still kick his ass because all the gears and weapons are at maximum. They're golden now, and I got all the abilities that are necessary to do the job. So, if this is the way that Cyberpunk is done, which I totally doubt that it's gonna be, it's really gonna be very beneficial to go through a lot of side stuff so you can get awesome gear and get totally more badass and then present yourself in the main quest and be like, oh, look at me, I'm such a cool guy here doing this main story, I'm more strong now. Yeah. And the other thing is, well, it's the same thing, but for example, now I have to go to Asgard for a second time. It's a main mission. And I want to get Excalibur before I go there. I went and got Thor's armor, and I want to get Excalibur, and then I'm going to go to Asgard. And I'm almost, well, not almost, but yeah, I mean, I'm like 70% into the progression of getting Thor's hammer and finishing the whole set. When I kill everybody from the order, I'm gonna get his cloak, which is the last piece of the armor. But now I have a new one that pretty awesome fits the armor, so you never know that it's not from the same armor. But the point is, when I get the cloak, I'm gonna be eligible for getting the armor, the hammer, sorry, and that's gonna be awesome. But first, getting Excalibur, then going to Asgard, kicking somebody's ass, I don't know who, and getting back to Earth, killing everybody else with Excalibur and getting the Thor's hammer and cloak. It's gonna be awesome. So I personally enjoy this type of grinding. I mean, it's not that enjoyable, but because the reward is pretty freaking awesome, um, you feel really really good when you finish it. It's not like something cosmetic that barely makes any difference. It makes a huge freaking difference. So yeah, but that's just me. I really love how Assassin's Creed is these days. Well, it crashes. It does have some bugs that I recorded, by the way. I'm planning to make a whole video of the bugs that I managed to record. Just one more funny thing. So there was this quest, and they did say there's a ton of bugs here, but we'll see. But there was this quest where I had to take one of, well, actually it's only one, a baker from the settlement, and go do some, things with him to help him out. He's like a good guy and all. And we're supposed to take a boat, so we're taking a boat, going to somewhere, and as soon as I start to, you know, to move the boat, he's like jumping off the boat, getting into the water, and just stays there, like swims a bit and just stays in one place. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing, guy? Like, get into the boat, But no, he's not budging. So I'm getting the boat to him. He's once again like, oh, what's going on? Getting on the boat. And I'm like, yay, so now we can go. So we're trying to go and go. And he's jumping off the boat like 2 meters further down the river. He's jumping off, and I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? Then I'm going on the surface, yeah, getting the horse, and the guy is like, oh, a horse. So he's getting on the horse, and I'm like, okay, so there's not gonna be any traveling with the boat, although the game literally was like, go with the boat. It was like marker there, but we can get on land too. So I'm trying with the horse, and as soon as I get through like one little river that was next to his house, which is again 2 meters from the house, he jumps off the horse, and that was it. And I'm like, okay, to hell with this. I got off the horse and started walking, but he doesn't do anything. He just stands next to his house. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the next main quest. I'm going to do the next main quest with Sigurd, whoever. And on the road to that, I found like a shrine, like a riddle that I have to match some kind of a symbol, and the quest is like 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, 5 meters away from that. So I do that, and all good. But then this guy, the baker, appears out of nowhere, and he is standing in the middle of this shrine something, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's just standing there. So that's it, with like a quest icon on top of his head, that his main quest, but it's gray, it's not active because I'm in the other quest. So I go the next 5 meters away quest, start to talk with the NPCs there. There's a cutscene, and this guy, the baker, is in the cutscene. I recorded that. I did. So I'm gonna release that as soon as I can. So he's in the scene. I see his face. I see his arm in front of the face of the other guy that I'm talking to. Then I see like his nose moving to the camera. All of those things. Then we go to raid like a closer island, and he is getting on the boat with everybody. He went raided like he raided. It was amazing. This guy is great. I tell you, this guy just great. I have tears in my eyes. Okay, so he did the job. He helped me out. He started walking next to me like a kitten all the time, and then and I finished with that quest that I was already doing. I returned to him, and we went and actually did the quest, and this time it worked. It reset itself. So this was the first time an NPC went with me on another quest, but he didn't want to go on his own quest. So Assassin's Creed, just hilarious bugs. It's hilarious. So whatever I can capture, you're gonna see it. But it's amazing. I love it. I love these bugs. So I'm a crying mess right now. I have to stop. I'm sorry that I digress so much, but this was super awesome. Okay, so at this, don't worry, you're gonna get back and see it. So that was about the Cyberpunk, but I'm just, giving you some examples of super awesome things that you can experience even with bugs. Okay, I really lost my voice here. So yeah, absolutely hilarious. Okay, guys, so I hope that was funny. See you when the game launches. In the meantime, of course, I'm gonna stream other things, but for tonight, I hope that you enjoyed this reaction, and see you next time, guys. Love ya. If you'd like to support me, links down below to everything. You can become a member of the channel or join my very informational and educational OnlyFans, and of course, there's always Patreon. So till next time, have a wonderful night. Oh, don't worry yet. It's fine. And sleep well, guys. Love you, my dear Gary T's, golden as 30s. Bye bye.